Good evening, everyone. Something a little bit different today. I used to collect Lego many years ago, and when I became unemployed, I had to sell them all for quick cash. But there was one set that I didn't sell because I liked it too much, and it was the centerpiece of my collection at the time, which was the Lego Black Pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean. Um, I used to display it on my desk, but over the years, it's been like pushed to the back and forgotten and got very dusty and fallen apart. And so I thought today we would try and clean it and put it back together so that I can display it again. It's a nice looking ship. I know I'm missing one of the torches for the back of the ship, and I think I'm missing one of the figurehead statue's wing pieces. So I'll probably have to replace a couple pieces when we're done here, but this will give me a good idea of what I would need to replace to get it display worthy again. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and let me show you what I got here. So as you can see, I've got pirate ship parts all over my desk. This is the main unit. This piece we're going to spend quite a bit of time cleaning. And then you can see this massive parts in front of me also. So we're going to start by going through the pieces one by one and cleaning them. One moment. Alright. Forgot to close the game that was running on my phone. Anyway, let's go through the pieces and start cleaning them. So first there's this little piece. It's the back side of the deck. And I have different cameras doing different views. So not everything I do will be visible on every camera, on both cameras at all times. But here's a better view of the piece. So let me go into my little cleaning fluid and start cleaning the dust off of this piece. And we're going to wipe the dust off of all the pieces before we start trying to put it back together. And sorry if I'm doing bits of this off camera. Gotta do what's easiest for posture. The reason the camera angles are the way they are is because I wanted to show as much as possible. But it's not going to be able to show everything. I can probably angle this one towards me a little bit better, at least for now. I kind of want to try to show the action on screen as much as possible. And it was all falling apart, but I actually took it apart a little more than it already was, because in order to clean it. So it's in more pieces than it actually was before. We're going to clean the big unit last, because that's the least broken piece. I expect that cleaning this will probably take us quite a bit of time, especially bigger chunks like this. We also have some little tiny detail pieces. Those probably won't take us too long to do each one. And the water is nice and warm. Warm water is better for cleaning dust than cool water. And it's not going to be perfect. It just got too much, but we're going to get as much off as we can. Obviously, we're not going to leave any of the big visible floater pieces. Although, that would be cool for atmosphere, because pirate ships had that. Alright, now we're going to do this little railing piece here. This one won't take too long. This is a very tiny piece. It shouldn't take too long. Sorry, I was doing that off camera. And because the black pearl's dark colors, the lighting may not be the best for showing off what we're doing here, but we'll do our best. Yeah. See, with the smaller pieces like this, it's a bit easier to clean. Alright, little sword, little tiny Lego person sword. And at this point, I'll do a pile for minifigure accessories, because this set did come with 6 minifigures. Seven if you count the little figurehead statue. And some of them are holding all their accessories, and some of them have dropped them over the years. Let's go for, yeah, this piece could use a cleaning. This is a piece of the mast structure. Yeah, that water's nice and warm. A piece of the paper towel just came off on my hand. That's okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, I want to revisit that top of the cabin piece when I finish this one, because I just noticed a big floater that I left on it. Give me a minute. Somebody's giving me a little phone call. The picture on the bottom right is just for reference for what this should look like when I finish restoring it. Obviously, we're nowhere near that point yet. Alright, I gotta take this quick phone call. It's an important phone call, so let me go take it. Okay, just waiting for them to pick up the phone call. And then we'll get back to the project. Hold on, guys. It's my birthday, and the most important person is trying to call me. And then we'll get back to the black pearl. And I may as well take this piece off as well. Minifigure pile right there. Alright, meanwhile, let's move on to the next piece while I keep working on this, while I wait for the call. And I totally forgot to check the wheel surface on the deck piece as well. Oof, that's not good. I just accidentally knocked the deck the wheel off, but I can fix that. Where I dropped the wheel. Right there. I think I got the dust. Yeah, that's going to be good enough. There's this little piece, tiny little piece. I have no idea where this piece goes. We'll have to puzzle that out later. Oh, I'm doing that off camera. Not that you can really see with the tiny pieces. Alright, we're going to do this. There's two of these railing bits that I'm going to need to do. So let's do this side. And then the other one is somewhere in this pile and we'll get it later. This bit's too tiny to show on camera, so I'm just going to do it real quick. Actually, this one doesn't look like it picked up much dust. We have 3 of these single bits that sit in a basket on the deck and simulate cannonballs. They don't look like they came out too poorly. Here's the other railing piece. So yeah, the only things I know for sure are missing are the only things I know for sure that are missing are one of the back torches and the figurehead wing, but we can always I'll look for replacing those parts. Let me see. Oh, can you see? Hi. All right. Okay. All right.
All right, honey. Let me give you a hug. I love you. Grandma, see you Sunday.
All right. Look.
Okay?
Hey, say
Awesome.
hi. Say hi. You're on camera now.
I'll see you Sunday. Okay? Thank you, dear.
You're on camera now. Say hi. Say hi to everyone.
No, that's Mommy's. Hi.
Hi. All right. So how are you?
Good. Are you downstairs?
Yes, I'm downstairs.
Are you in Grandma's house?
I'm yeah, I'm in the house. Yeah, I'm in the house that Grandma and I live in. I'm in Grandma and Uncle's house.
Huh?
I'm in Grandma and Uncle's house.
Oh. But I'm going away 2 days.
We're going to a party. We're going to a party on Sunday.
I know he's not saying something. Oh, hey, Ev.
Hi.
I'm coming in, Ev.
Okay. Hey, Manny, I'm doing a show right now. You want to say hi to my viewers?
You're gonna come in. He'll be there in a minute.
Okay.
Tommy's over gaming.
Yeah. You wanted to do something with him tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm
I
okay.
feel better.
All right. Shane, I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Okay, bye, Cleveland.
All right. Have a good night. Have a good night.
Mama,
Did you say do you want to hang out with her tomorrow since you couldn't hang out with her today or no? All right, let me know.
Just hang up. Just hang up.
Happy birthday again.
All right. I'll
Did you get a text message?
Say thank
What?
you. Say thanks, dude.
Thank you.
Dude, what the fuck is this? Is
Did
this
you
an
get my
energy
text
drink?
message?
No.
What is this?
That's water for cleaning.
Mom.
All right. Have a good night. Good night.
Bye.
Huh?
Who's it? Bye. Say bye. Say
Did
Yes.
you get my text message?
Which one?
The one wishing you a happy birthday.
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
Well, how come you didn't respond? That's why I sent it to you again.
Uh,
Thank you, sister.
uh.
That was so sweet.
So sorry, I've been running around all day. We went to an escape room.
Yes, I know. But you haven't been driving.
Well, I fell asleep in the car.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay.
I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay. All right. Have a good night.
You just fucking.
That's me. I'll try to phone me now.
Say bye. Just
Say-
say bye.
Good night.
Good night.
That shit was ass.
All right. Let me.
How much was this shit?
Hold on.
No, how much was this?
Oh, this is an older Lego set. I got this several years ago. That's why I'm restoring it.
You haven't done
'Cause
it?
It fell into disuse. Let me
Wait,
go.
where's your other Lego set, dude?
That's the only Lego set I have left. That's the only one I kept.
Oh, so this is the one. Oh, so this is the one you always had. It's just really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I needed to talk to you for a second.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. I had to take that, but it's my birthday, which is why I left the microphone going. Usually I turn it off for a phone call, but let's get on with the. We've got a whole bunch more pieces to clean up. So let's see. These pieces are bigger. We've got two of these side mast net bits. Yeah, the water's still warm. So we have two of the side mast net bits we're going to do next. And these pieces got very dusty. And slightly bent out of shape as well, but that's okay. I really don't know how I'm going to do this big hunking haul of the ship on camera. I'll do my best. And it's okay. It's okay to just let the water sit without worrying about drying it too much, because this is plastic and it'll just air dry. And this piece of the netting, the side mast netting, got really dusty. I don't know how well it's coming up on camera, but and now we have another one of these mast pieces. This one got quite a bit of dust around it. And I don't remember how all of it goes back together, but we'll do our best. And here's the little flag piece for the top of the ship. And the only part of the piece that wasn't hidden, the only part of the ship that wasn't hidden in obscurity over the last few years, because the top mast didn't actually fall over. Well, it came undone, but the rest of the junk on the desk kind of held it up, so the flag always stuck up above the rest of the ship. So yeah, this little piece did not actually. I like how they cut the edge of the flag to look like the torn flags that pirates use. All right, next piece. Got another of the little cannonball pieces here. And now we've got the figurehead statue, which you can see she's missing her wings. She's got, and I just knocked her head clean off, but that's okay. That's part of what restoration is for. And then the bottom piece of that got really dusty. And this is technically a minifigure piece. And while we're doing that, she holds this little flower piece, which is too tiny for me to really show on camera. Now that thing popped right on my hand. I'm glad it bounced back onto the desk and not somewhere on the floor where I wouldn't be able to find it. There we go. Let me see. Yeah, the figurehead statue looks clean, but she's missing her wings. And now we have... Fish didn't come out too poorly. This fish is one of the detail pieces. I think it sits in a basket on the deck. Here's another bit of the structural. Here's another cannonball. I know my camera work isn't the best. Let me try something here. Now you can kind of see me and my hands a little better. Still trying to avoid doing face cam right now. But you can see my hands a little better with the camera angled like that, I think. Here's another cannonball. I think this other angle will work better when we try and do the big pieces that are coming up. Here's a torch. There's supposed to be 3 of these, but one of mine went missing, so I'm gonna have to get a replacement. Here's the other torch. Yeah, it looks like with the tiny pieces, they didn't collect as much dust as the bigger pieces, which makes sense. Not as much area for the dust to stick to. Let's see here. Here's a smaller torch for a different part of the ship. Here's another detail bit. I know my lighting's not the best, but I try. I work with what I got. And let's go ahead and do the minifigures before I get into the really big chunks. So let's see. We've got Jack Sparrow, and he's covered with dust. Really sad what happened to Johnny Depp. He's been blacklisted by all the Hollywood companies because I'm not going into it because it's all politics and stuff. But so he's holding his compass and his telescope. And we have Macus, the hammerhead shark head guy from Davy Jones's crew. He's got a pistol and a sword. And a healthy smattering of dust all over him. Pirates of the Caribbean, they only did a relative few sets for. They did, for ships, they did Black Pearl and Queen Anne's Revenge. Ships of, it would have been nice if they did the Empress. The Empress was one of the most unique ships in the series. Here's Davy Jones, and he's supposed to have a feather in his hat. It's, I've already, it was too small to clean on camera, so I already did it and set it aside. We'll restore his helmet feather when we're putting things back together later. Davy Jones all clean. And Joshua Gibbs holding a goblet, a sword, and a pile of dust. I've always liked Joshua Gibbs. He's the straight man to Johnny Depp's silliness, but Mr. Gibbs had his fair share of comic relief as well. Actually, being the straight man, he kind of was the comic relief sometimes. I like Joshua Gibbs because he had a relatively normal personality and wasn't over the top like all the other pirates were. Like a lot of the pirates had exaggerated personalities. Jack Sparrow and Barbossa in particular. Also Davy Jones. So, and there Joshua Gibbs was. With a pretty normal personality, hanging out with the pirates. And being the reasonable person in the crew. The only one with common sense. Bootstrap Bill holding what looks to be some kind of bottle, a dagger, and lots of dust. Well, it makes sense for the Dutchman characters to have dust on them because, hey, they're a cursed crew. But these are Legos. We want to get them clean. Alright, Bootstrap Bill's ready to go. And finally, here's Will Turner with a pistol, a sword, and some more dust. Alright, now we've got the big pieces left to clean. Water's still warm. Let's get right to it. We've got this little mast piece. And these mast pieces are all sorts of misaligned. I gotta be really careful on the sails where much of the dust accumulated. Of course, the dust would accumulate on the trickier to clean sections. But the sails are actually made of a kind of tough fabric, so we don't want to tear them by accident. So I'm trying to be as gentle as possible. And since I don't actually have the instructions for this anymore, restoring, putting the sail, I don't want to take the sails apart any more than they already are, because it's already going to be a puzzle trying to figure out how it all goes back together. It's okay for the fabric to be a little wet. It's just water. It'll dry. I want to put that back together. We'll mostly have the image to go off of to actually put this back together, which is going to suck a bit, but memory can serve well too. Yeah, I missed a spot. Alright. So, there's this massive tangle of parts here. This counts as several parts, but they're all stuck together, so I'm sure they're all connected somehow. Actually, this might be the foremast, because the back mast would be a separate piece, because it goes on the back cabin area. I'm trying to get all the obvious dust spots off. I'm trying to be thorough, but gentle at the same time. And the way this section is all tangled together, thorough might be tough, but I'll do my best. Yeah, I'm almost certain that this whole mast here is the forward mast section. Looks like the dust mostly gathered around the edges on this piece of the mast. And I can already see where support beams may go into place, so that'll help me later. And of course the masts have to be bent out a certain way once they're all put back together in order to look right. I'm not concerned with the way that the sails fold right now, as long as I don't crease them by accident. Because until I put everything back together, there's really no correct way to put the sails. And you know what? When the time comes, I'll probably pull up the instructions on Lego just to be sure I'm putting the sails back on correctly. And this piece right here is the forward sail, which will hang over the figurehead. And that goes right there, I think. Oh, this bit is very dusty. So the forward mast is just about clean. I think that's all the bit. Oh no, I missed a spot. I missed a big spot. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, because this is a pirate ship after all. And a lot of them look old and dusty for atmosphere. But that's fake painted on dust when they do it in Hollywood. Real dust would be unhealthy for the actors. But real life pirate ships would have been covered with dust. So, it adds an air of authenticity, I guess. And now we have the main mast, which looks like it too is missing some chunks. Yeah, it looks like that's missing a lot of chunks, but that seems to be more structurally stable than the forward mast. Let me just get into here. I'm not as concerned with these bits being perfect because a lot of it isn't going to be visible behind the rest of the ship. I just don't want. But having an abundance of dust is unhealthy. So when it comes to the torches, I'll probably put them on the sides, or I might do whichever side is going to be facing forward on the desk and then the middle. Either option is valid for when you only have 2 out of 3. But I think for balance, I'm just going to put them on the side posts because I only have 2 of the 3 right now. So yeah, the torches I'm just going to put on the sides and skip the middle torch until I can get it replaced. I prefer to have it balanced than not. And I found one of the angel wings, but again, I prefer balance. So I'll just toss the angel wing in the props basket on the deck for now, until I can get a replacement for the other wing. So yeah, all of these various mast bits look like they're missing structural bits, which would be in the stuff that we did before, the parts that we cleaned before. Alright, we have and I'll touch up any other dust I see as I start putting things back together. And now the main unit itself. And for this, let's try and get this on camera. Okay, let me adjust the tape. I put it on the back of this camera to hold it. we're on the main part of the ship now. And this is the dustiest of all of the stuff. So as you can see, I don't know how well the dust is coming out on camera. And it sounds like something's rattling around in there, but I can't really tell what. Ah. Tiny little detail piece. I'm not sure where it came from. But hey. Hopefully with the camera this close, you can see just how dusty this main part of the ship got. And hey, and even the bottom got a little dusty, but you can't tell because that's solid black. And hey, we just found, I think, we just found the third torch. We're not missing any torches. We're just missing an angel wing. How lucky it was to open up the side panel and try and find what was rattling. Let me make sure that there's nothing else hiding in there. Yeah, nope. Just the anchor, which is loose. And these side panels open so you can see into the captain's cabin, which itself is dusty. I may try to carefully take off the top layer of the captain's cabin so I can get at the dust that's inside it. This is going to take me a while to clean this section. So yeah, I once had an extensive Lego collection from about 2012 to 2018. I collected Legos, and then I had to sell them all. This was my biggest set, and I didn't want to sell this one because this is the only one that I consistently displayed. I may have to take parts off. And man, I just dropped a tiny piece inside. There it is. I just realized these railing pieces on the captain's cabin area have the little skeleton feet pieces for the pegs. That's kind of interesting, actually. I've always liked the Black Pearl. It's such a beautiful pirate ship. Here, let's keep the part working on camera as much as possible. The side camera may not be the best. It wasn't this whole stream, but I'm trying to keep as much of my action on camera as possible because of the bulk of the set. Because of the bulk of the set, that's not always possible. Okay, so we're starting to make progress. It's starting to look better. We got the top area of the captain's cabin. How am I going to do inside that captain's cabin? You can see all the dust inside that area right there. And actually, I need to be able to see what I'm doing. That's a very dark area. How am I going to do this with one hand? Oof. Yeah. I think my best option here is to carefully take off the top layer of... And with the light on, I can see dust that I missed. I may have to go back and do some of the other sections too. But let's focus on this right now. I have it out. And with this on, I know some of it is getting washed out on camera. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to do this as good as I can do it. I totally missed some areas inside. Alright. Instead of trying to do this with a flashlight, let me see if I can carefully take off this top layer. Yeah, that came off nicely, exposing a big chunk of dust on one of the pieces that I had not seen before. And if I fold this piece all the way down, and these pieces out as far as they will go, and take these off, I've now got full access to the inside of the captain's cabin. Let me, I need it pointing towards me so I can see what I'm doing, but let me see if I can point this towards the back here. And I might have to do the same with the forward railings to get inside the front of the ship when we're ready to clean that. So let me see. Do all of the top pieces of the captain's cabin pass inspection? Okay, that one's clean. Not sure where that came from. Oh, I know exactly where that came from. And one of the little back wall pieces that I took off is falling apart in my hand. Let me put that back together real quick. Okay, this one needs some cleaning. And that was... This section is decent. Could use a little more right there. Alright, let's go for the inside now. I'm trying different camera angles with the side camera so that you can hopefully see as much of the action as possible. It's drifting a bit though. It's not doing what I was hoping it would. You can kind of see the area. Yeah. And this part I think needs to come off for cleaning. This little back window area, there's a lot of dust on the inside. I would have broken it if I had tried to clean it without taking it off. Once we get the captain's area cleaned up, I'll reassemble it and then we'll move on to the front of the ship and get that cleaned up. Can these parts come off? Yeah, I don't want to bother with taking those parts off. We'll just leave them open. Side camera may be more trouble than it's worth. This side is missing the piece that makes it stable. Let me go back to the underside and see if I can find that piece. Here it is. I want to increase the stability of the side window area here. There we go. Alright, this towel got cold. Let's get the next towel. I want to take the door off to do the door because I can see a lot of dust on the inside of the door and the outside of the door, come to think of it. I seem to be missing a piece. Oh, I think I see what goes there. I've identified one of the missing pieces. I don't know how this piece fell out because it came from the inside of something that was there. So this piece must have already been torn apart before. There we go. Now the door area is symmetrical again. And I don't know how well that's coming out on camera, right about there. But you can see at the top of the steps. Is it? Yeah. You can see at the top of the steps. There's a dust line in that area. Where the door was, there's no dust that side. But there's dust on the... You know what? The stairs are going to have to come off. They're completely covered. And I can't safely do them without tearing the ship apart. And I don't want to tear the ship apart without knowing precisely how I'm doing so. Because that could be dangerous. Because I don't have the instructions. I could get the instructions and do lookups. But if I remember correctly, the instructions for this set was over 100 pages. So if I have to do lookups, we're going to be taking a lot of time just sitting, waiting for me to figure out what I'm supposed to do. So anywhere that I need to take it apart to get to the dust, I want to do so in a very controlled fashion. And I'll have the flashlight at the ready so that I can shine it on each area as I finish moving forward to make sure I got everything. Because sometimes dust blends, especially this ship with its blacks, browns, and grays. Very similar color to dust. So I want to make sure I'm getting as much of the dust off as possible. And I'm not going to get every shred of dust, I recognize that. But I want to get as much as possible off. Okay. I missed a whole lot in Captain's cabin. We're going to be doing this as long as it takes me to finish restoring the ship. because this is what I want to do for my birthday night. I want to have this ship ready to display again. And even though I'm missing an angel wing, it'll otherwise be, I mean, nobody's going to notice the angel wing given all the detail throughout the rest of the ship, so. But I still want it to be as good as possible. And I'm not nitpicky. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it was an unacceptable level of dust before. Wow. Well, it's not perfect, but it's better than it was. Let me work on this floor area. Table comes up so I can work on the floor area around and behind the table. Yeah. You can't even see what I'm doing because I just pushed the section I'm working on out of the camera view. And this other camera came down again. I don't know how long it's been down. Sorry about that. You know what? This other camera's giving me problems. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to focus on this camera for a while. Don't worry about the big ugly bar at the right. Now that I've thoroughly... Yeah, I'm satisfied with the back area. Let me do the inside of the door frame area. Alright. Before I start reassembling this area, I want to get at these steps here, because these are going to be locked in place by the ceiling of the captain's cabin as well. So as you can see, the stairs are very dusty. And that's where this piece goes, I think. Does that look symmetrical? Yes, it does. Alright. So yeah, it looks like some of the detail bits came from inside the door and stairs area. Which is strange, because that implies I tried to restore it once and missed those pieces. I don't remember trying to restore it before. If I did, I must certainly skip the cleaning off dust step, which might explain why it didn't stay together. Partially, but partially explain. You can see the stairs look totally gray, and as I wipe them off, they're becoming black. Alright, give me a moment. I need to take this call. All right, that's my brother. He's on his way home from work. He may or may not stop by the show. You remember Q. He is always in the chat and viewer participation games. We did the board game stream together. And actually having the stairs off will give me easier access to back here as well. Yeah. We're making progress, slowly but surely. But you know what? I took the stairs off, so let me go ahead and finish with those before I get into the body of the ship. Yeah. My cleaning water is cooling down. I don't know how much more time I have for it to be effective, but we'll do our best to get through. So let's finish these stairs. So yeah, the gray stairs, when the dust is wiped up, their original black color is restored. Yeah, this main section of the ship was very dusty. Glad we're taking the time to clean it up before I put it back together. This is also taking a lot longer than I thought it would, because I'm taking the time to try and do it thoroughly and correctly. And you can just see the water dripping off the piece. That's okay. Water doesn't hurt Legos, only cleans them. But there's one little... My phone's giving me notifications. Lots of notifications tonight that I don't have time for because I'm trying to focus on this. We've now been going a little over an hour. We're still cleaning. But I'm in this for as long as it takes to get it done right. Alright. I don't want to put the stairs back on until... I don't want to put the stairs back on until I have the body and it's starting to clean. Yeah. You can see some of those gray areas turning black as I clean them. That's a good thing. And I'm okay with leaving a little moisture inside because it'll just evaporate out. Wow. All the black areas turn gray. And let me show you this. Look at those cannons. Oh, I'm washing it out. You can see the cannon areas, just how dusty the cannons are. But yeah, this whole back part of the ship is, you can see all the dust coming off as I do this. This needed to be done. Hopefully once I get it back together, it won't pick up dust as fast. Because once it's back together, probably not going to want to take it apart again. So, if anyone has suggestions on ways I can protect it from getting dusty again in the future, please do let me know and I'll research it. But I would prefer not to take this apart again in the future, so... Wow. You know what? I'm going to take the cannons out to do them. Wow, these These cannons look like they have a launch mechanism. That's interesting. And I have there's 6 cannon windows, but the Black Pearl only came with 2 cannons. So I keep them in the forward windows. And then the cannonball basket in the middle of the ship. Let's get a new paper towel. This one's filthy. Oh, need water, of course. Trying to do this little cannonball basket from the middle of the ship. Wow. How did Dust get under connected pieces? That's interesting and a little strange. Yeah. I'm glad I checked that moving part because this had dust on the inside. This cannon. Alright, let's keep moving on the interiors. Gray, more gray turning into black. And then this barrel right at the front, which I think is where we're supposed to put the fish. And where I'm also going to drop the angel wing, since it doesn't have a match. Look, I'm not going to do a one-winged angel, not for the Black Pearl. Give me one moment. But yeah, we're making good progress on the inside, but I can see some spots that I missed as I move towards the front of the ship. And I'm just doing the base of the ship right now. I'm going to have to come around and work on the sides once I finish that. Okay, my money transfer didn't go through yet. So let's see, the corners and here in front of the wheel I have to touch up before I move on. And like I said, I'm okay with moisture on this because it'll all dry out. You know what? Let's put the little table back in place so I have a little reference point with which to work. Yeah, no, I think this is supposed to be farther back. That might be the actual position. I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, once we finish cleaning out the floor of the ship, I'm going to then come up and do the sides. And then I'm going to pick up the ship and look around the outside to see if anything on the outside needs to be done. But it looks like most of the dust collection was on the inside of the ship. Let's see, yeah, those corners are better now. Still missed a chunk of the front of the wheel. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect. It's really difficult to do perfect with this nature of cleanup. But here, you can see all the cobwebs on the front portion of the ship right there. We'll be getting to those shortly. One thing, even though I can't afford to collect Legos anymore, and it's been years since I've had a collection. One thing I really enjoy when I have some spare time, one thing I like to do is I like to go to the Lego website, pull up manuals of random sets, and just look at the instructions of how the set comes together. It's really fun to watch. It's really fun to look at the instructions on the site and imagine how all the sets work. Especially because I can't do it for myself, for real. Okay. There's dust inside the front of the ship where I can't reach. I'm going to carefully try to take these front panels off. Alright. Wow, this... Yeah, so as you can see, as we work, as we clean the ship, we have to carefully disassemble it even more than it already was. I'm trying to keep everything straight. I think I got it, though. The tricky part will be putting the masks back, because those had fallen off, and I don't remember how they went. These other parts I'm taking off, I see how they're coming off, so that's different. Where did this come from? Is that it? Alright, let's do these little front panel sections. Wow, that almost flew off the desk. Okay, I'm not sure, but it looks like things are not symmetrical again. We'll figure out these bits and pieces as we put everything back together. Okay, that piece is passable. Wow, my desk is very wet now. This forward piece is passable. This side is not. How's the anchor? Very dusty on the back. And when I finish the anchor, we'll grab a new towel. Okay, those are passable now. I see a piece of hair that got caught in it. Alright, that's passable. Alright, how's the inside of the ship? Inside of the ship is looking pretty good. Let me do a little touch up around the very front sections. Yeah. Beneath the base plate, there's these little tiny areas that are full of dust that I'm not sure if the paper towel can even get to because they're so tiny. Let's make a little tiny shred and see if I can get down in those areas. I'm not sure if you can see what I'm talking about, but at the very front of the ship, you can see below the base plate, there's some areas that are really dusty, but I don't know if I can get in there. And I'm not taking any of the base structure apart. That's gonna make things too complicated. So we may have to leave these bottom areas as is. Unless I can get this piece. I might be able to get this piece off without too much structural damage. Let me see, any dust gather on the bottom? No, the bottom is pretty good, but we do have a lot on the sides. This may be more trouble than it's worth, honestly. But if I can somehow get it to let me take this top section off. There's a yeah. That's more structure than I wanted to take off for tonight. But I think if I can get this bottom piece off now without too much difficulty. But actually the sides coming off, that's probably a good thing because that will allow me to do the cleaning a little bit better, I think. But they didn't come off symmetrically. So I need to figure this out. Ah, that's how it goes. So actually, we now have the space plate that we can work on cleaning. And I still am not able to get to those little areas in the bottom. I'm not sure if that's molded onto the piece or if this is a separate piece. So let me just carefully try taking this front section off. It's coming apart. Okay. And I just broke a piece. But I didn't even know it was possible to break Legos. I've never done that before. That's okay. It's a piece that's not really visible when it's all put together. And yeah, it looks like the piece I was trying to get at. I don't know how well you can see that, but that's all molded in there. So let me go ahead and do the best I can to make this piece as clean as possible. But this piece in particular is not going to be perfect. I mean, I don't want to jam my fingers or anything. And you can see right there on that middle section, that brown square right there, that piece broke. I'm not concerned about that piece because it's not really going to be visible. Once we put it all back together. So yeah, because that piece is molded, there's really not much more I can do about it. Let's see. It looks like the broken piece of the square might actually stay in place once I start putting things back together. It'll be iffy though. So yeah, the inside of the piece is done pretty much as good as it's going to be. Let me go ahead and just finish cleaning around the edges of the base. Alright. Wow. Let me go ahead and put the base back together, and then we'll start cleaning the side sections. But before we do, I just want to look around the outside of the base area. Let me put these connectors back on. Where'd the other one go? That was like that. There was another little connector piece, and I'm not seeing it. Did I drop it? Ah. I distinctly remember there being two of those. Why am I not seeing the other one? Since we're not using this camera, I may have to take the tape off. You know when that other piece will turn up? At the end. After I put everything together and when it's a pain to get back on the bottom of the ship. That's when that piece is going to turn up. That broken square piece is holding though. Executive decision. In order to keep balance on the ship, I'm going to relocate this other bottom piece, connector piece. Now let's put this whole section back on the front of the ship. And I just dropped a piece. This looks like a piece of the forward mast. I saw a piece drop, so let me see if I can find it real quick before I continue. There it is, I think. I wish you could see this. My desk is now a random jumble of broken down pirate ship parts. Ignore that Pokemon tin. I was trying to use that as a base for the other camera, which the other camera, its base fell off, so I was trying to use that. I had the camera taped to that Pokemon tin, and then all right, let me sit down and readjust the camera, and then I'll check the base to see if there's any cleaning that needs to be done on the sides, and then I'll start cleaning the side chunks we took off. All right. That's not aligned properly. I can tell that's not. But that's lined up with that. Oh yeah, this piece goes in there. That's why it looked like it was missing a piece. There we go. So yeah, it's not perfect. Looks like I missed a bunch of spots. But we gotta move on. It's a lot cleaner than it was, but it's not perfect. And sorry that it's washed out right now. I'm shining the light to try and hit a few missed spots last minute before I move on. My other camera fell. Sorry about that. I'm using weird camera angles today. I was expecting there would be some camera difficulties. I don't even remember how I had this camera before. See, this camera usually points at my face. This is the face cam. It's awkward when I try and position it to point down at the desk. There we go. Hopefully it'll stay. You know what? I'm going to call this good enough. All right. Cleaning the side pieces. And these side pieces look like they're loose and fragile, so. But look how dusty that thing is. Wow, we've been cleaning this for an hour and a half. So I guess the plan of reassembly is to start with the side pieces, then the stairs, the walls of the captain's cabin, and once everything's put back together, we'll be able to start figuring out how the masts are supposed to go. Oh, I forgot to check the sides and bottom of the base. So I'll have to check the sides and bottoms for that. This, oh, I was doing that off camera. This side piece is cleaning nicely. Man, I'm getting water all over my phone. That's not a good thing. Let me just try and wipe it all up real quick. Yeah, this side piece is almost clean. I still gotta get a bit of the inside though. Wow, it just flew out of my hand. That's not a good thing. I'm known for clumsy moments like that. But you know what? When this stream is over, we're going to have a very nice Lego pirate ship. And I'm so glad that the missing torch ended up turning up. There's some bits that I can't really get to without further disassembly. And at this point, I'm not doing further disassembly. These detail bits are too small. I've already got too many loose bits on the table that I don't know where they go. So I'm just getting the exposed bits for this section. And there's a little bit of dust left on the outside. Okay, how does this go in? I think like that. I think that's the placement. So this goes on like that. Alright, and then this section should go on like this. Yeah. And before I do the other side piece, oh man, more detail bits coming off. And yeah, these little flaps are supposed to leave slots like that, because that's where other cannons go. So those flat windows actually fold up. Alright, let me just look around the outside of the boat real quick. The outside of the boat isn't too dusty. Let me wipe up what's there, and then we'll start working on the other side piece. And then we'll try to fix the railing. I should have done this before adding the first side piece, but I forgot. I think that's really all it needs. Let me see. Yeah, the rest of that is just water.
Hey, bud.
Hi,
I only had chocolate, so I got you chocolate.
That's okay. I'm doing a show right now. Do you want to come see what I'm doing? I think that was on like that. Yeah, that was on like that. Yeah. All right, now we're going to do this side. And it looks like this is where that little torch piece is going to go, that we identified before. I'm going to go ahead and put this piece back on as well. It leaves a little bit of a flex area. I forgot to clean up this side. And up here too. So, after an hour and 3/4, we're almost time to begin the restoration portion of cleaning and restoration. Now that the ship is in a lot more pieces than it was before I started the stream. Funny how these things happen, but I wanted to clean as thoroughly as possible. And the broken square is holding as long as I don't touch it. Oh yeah, that side of the flap was really dusty. I'm doing this off camera, sorry. Again, I'm trying to do this quickly but carefully, which is not easy with pieces like this, or I should say sections like this, where because they're decorative bits, the pieces are only held together by a few connection points. We've already broken big chunks of the railing that I don't know how they're going to go back together. Chances are when we start putting all the detail bits back on, it's not going to be exactly the same as it was before. I'm prepared for that possibility, so long as it's not too different than it was before. And I missed a spot over here. Let's see, how am I doing here? Missed a lot of spots on this one so far. The outside's pretty good though. Let's see, missed a bunch along the top. And I don't want to disassemble this part anymore either, so we're going to do the best we can. It's not terrible, but I still missed a few areas. Alright. The top is pretty good, but over here, there's a big, huge dust ball. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and put this piece back on now.
Let's fucking go it.
Watch your language. I'm on
Let's
stream
go.
right now.
Who cares, bro? Twitch. They don't know about Twitch. Always cusses. Everybody cusses. You only have one person. What's the big deal?
Hey, please don't diss my
Ev,
stream
let's
live on
fucking
camera.
go. Ev, let's go.
What do you mean, let's go?
You're one of the 5 who doesn't like it. Who doesn't like that haircut of his beard? You don't like it?
I didn't say that.
You sure about that? Because that's what
I told him I had no opinion of it.
Oh, okay. So you just lied. So why? That's what you just said. Oh, I didn't know.
Look, I'm sorry. Sometimes my nephew does not know how to watch his language. Alright. We've got a mess of parts here that we got to start putting back together. So, the captain's cabin area will be the easiest section to put back together. Let me just do a once over. Yeah, there's still a lot of dust inside, but not like it was. It's passable. Oh, I missed a spot on this one. I'm not sure how well that's coming up on camera because everything is black right now. I mean, it's a black ship. Alright. There's this section that went to the front like that, but I can't remember if there was anything else that went with that. I can see a whole bunch of missing things on the mid-level. Let's put this barrel back in place. Yeah, I see a bunch of things that I have no idea where they go. This door, I know, goes right here. Well, at least I know the captain's cabin area is beginning to take shape again. I have a relatively solid remembrance of how that area went. Before I continue, there were little fires by the stairs. There's a little cannonball basket. Okay, these bits. Pretty sure they went like this. That looks about right. Wow, it's almost midnight, and we're just now starting to put this thing back together. All right. I think it goes like that. Yeah, because those all line up. So I'm actually missing something, I think. Yeah, that's not lined up correctly. Okay, that explains things. Let's try this again. All right. I think that's framing is correct. And then these fence bits are supposed to go on like this, I think. I think these go on here. If I'm wrong, we can always adjust it later. All right, let's start looking at the front of the ship. I think this is supposed to go like this. but I don't remember exactly where it's supposed to line up. I'm pretty sure it covers this area. Oh, that's too far back. I'm going to keep those areas exposed for now until I figure out what's supposed to happen with them. But I want to keep everything symmetrical, especially until I figure out what's supposed to happen with them. Does this tell me anything, having this piece here? Yeah, that actually makes sense. For now, I'm rolling with that. Could be wrong, though. Lots of little loose pieces that I don't know where they go. I think the figurehead goes on the front like that. She obviously goes lower, but till I figure out how all the rest of this stuff goes. But you know what? Since I did the back of the ship so well, let's go ahead and finish back there. The torch hooks. Where are the torch hooks that are supposed to be on the back? Did I forget another piece? Oh, I forgot this whole chunk from the back. This has the torch hooks on it, so. And this actually holds the back together and gives it, yeah. And this section here where the ceiling of the captain's cabin will go, that's actually the back of the ship piece that you saw earlier. This thing right here. Let's go ahead and put the torches in the back, and then we don't have to worry about the very back anymore. So glad that the missing torch turned up. Now I don't have to worry about it not being symmetrical. Yeah. I know one of these goes here. I think these go like this. Okay. Time for some instructions. I'm going to pull up the Lego instructions if I can. So we're going to type in black pearl. And I'm going to skim ahead to the part we need. We're 2 hours into this. We're going to go with both sections just so I can skim through and make sure I'm doing everything correctly. Alright, lots of structural stuff going on here. Finished all this. Okay, so there's supposed to be a flap at the bottom of the ship. Yeah, I see it. I'm going to leave it closed though. And it actually looks like it's facing the wrong way, but whatever. So yeah, I'm definitely missing one of those pieces. So yeah, that part is looking correct so far. So yeah, there is supposed to be an extra sword. Alright, so that sword doesn't go with, that I saw earlier, doesn't go with anyone. But it looks like there's supposed to be 2 extra swords. No matter, it's a detail piece. Alright, let's put the cannons back in, because I know exactly where they go. And if I decide to go online to replace the angel wing, I might go ahead and replace these. I might go ahead and add 4 more cannons as well. So yeah, there's definitely something missing. But I see where one of the missing pieces goes, just by logic. Now, where did I put that particular? There it is. This is a very precision thing I'm trying to do right now. That piece that fell off before, I'm starting to suspect that maybe it fell into the trash bag. Let me check real quick. Alright. Trash bag has been emptied. Now I'm going to see if any of the pieces fell into it. Because I distinctly remember a piece that I know I'm missing right now. I distinctly remember seeing a piece similar shape to that fall to the floor, and there was no trace of it where it looked like it fell. It was a mostly black piece with this black trash bag next to me, so. Okay, the piece wasn't in the trash bag. I'm going to do a quick floor search. I'm going to do a quick floor search to see if the piece fell off and scattered somewhere. Okay. No trace of the piece that fell. So making an executive decision. Actually, it'll make the cannon more visible on the far side. Yeah, it didn't scatter anywhere on the desk. Alright then, we're missing a piece. So if I decide to replace the angel wing, I'll have a couple other pieces that need replacement as well, I think. Alright, moving on with the instructions. I'm just skimming through the instructions to make sure I'm putting the structural bits on correctly. Okay, I see where that piece goes. Is there a hollow bit on that? Something fell off the torch. So yeah, I'll have some missing pieces I'll need to get replacements for. I'm trying to be precise with this. That's why I'm taking so much longer than usual getting parts done. So many loose detail bits. So here are the bits that I don't know where they go yet. I'm putting over here on this side. I know that this bit goes right here, but there's nothing to anchor it down right now. So yeah, I'll have to look for that other confirmed missing piece off camera. Let me make these a little more even. All right. Let's keep going with my research. Okay, I see something. I think these are supposed to go in here, like this. Yeah, it makes sense based on what I'm seeing. Glad to have found that. Maybe I should have waited till the end to put these torches on. They keep falling off the back, specifically the middle one. That connection might be loose though. I know sometimes the clip style pieces age after time. Alright, moving on with these instructions. Okay, that all looks right. But I might have those bits backwards. Yeah, I have these bits backwards. Oh yeah, I see. I see how it is. I see how things are going with this bit now. I'm doing some work on the front. I'm hoping I can get the camera. So if I put this here, I'm so glad I decided to pull up the instructions. Yeah, I had this section totally way off. And then this thing up forward like this to hold these two bits into place. And suddenly the front of the ship is starting to take shape. Okay, so I think it's saying that these are supposed to go here. And even if that's slightly incorrect, at this point I don't even care about the little detail bits anymore. So long as we can get the whole thing together looking good. Which means those bits might be in the wrong places. But we'll worry about that when we get there. And there's a bit of an angled piece. Does that mean we're going to start fooling around with these bits? Oh, wow. Yeah, this is definitely the angled piece that it's referring to. Let me go ahead and get this piece into place, because it'll be impossible to attach if I try to do it all together. There we go. And the front mast is going to come off of that. I'm starting to see how this thing comes back together now. We're making some very decent progress here. Some more instructions. So basically all that's left is to figure out how these various mast bits go. We've already fixed the captain's cabin, so that's all in place. Alright, we're ready for book 2. So the instructions are approximately where I am now. And I see where these are supposed to go now as well, so. Yeah, doing a quick fix to an obvious mistake I see on here. And hopefully that piece will turn up that I'm missing. Yeah. We've already done all that section up there. So yeah, we're looking at, oh, I have these out of place. It's supposed to be like this. But the question is, yeah, that's exactly how that section is supposed to look. Okay. Let me try and move it forward. So, well, we're working in the back right now. Okay, the fire is supposed to be going towards the back, apparently. Alright, keep going. Alright, so now we're ready to work on this little bit here. Okay, so I need the little sail bit that's not connected to anything. This thing. And it's supposed to be pointing in opposition to the wheel. And let me do a little more cleaning on the sail. Because I see a lot more. Careful, I don't want to tear this thing. I see a lot more dust on this thing than I thought there was before. Yeah, that's good enough. Well, this is the loose sail, but it's showing that it's supposed to be, let's see. Alright, it's showing the sails at this angle. Yeah, that looks like the picture. Let's go ahead and plug that on. And that goes on top of the captain's cabin like this. And yeah, I can already tell the masts are going to go off the screen. It's just too big. And since it's going to be hard to access, oh boy. Something else fell off. The torch again. Man, those torches keep falling off, but we're... Oh, I think it's supposed to go like that, actually. So it's not actually attached. So you can take it off for play value. Ah, there's the torch. Alright. So the accessories that go into the basket and barrel. Cannonballs. Let's see here. Everybody's already holding their swords. So there's a spare sword to go with the fish. Where did I put the fish? There's the fish. And let's, while we're on the subject of tiny pieces, let's deal with Davy Jones. Let's deal with his little cap feather. I'm not seeing where it's supposed to go in. I did see a little more dust on his hat that I missed, though. Maybe it's somebody else's hat feather? We'll have to wait till later on in the picture. I'm just going to do a quick Google search. Yeah, so the hat feather is not Davy Jones. So whose hat feather is it then? Nobody's hat feather. Interesting. So I have a piece, I don't know what it does. Interesting. Okay, we'll worry about that later though. Let me focus on getting these done. Okay. So we're working on the main mass section. That would be this huge affair here. I'm not even going to worry about any more dust on this mask because I just want to be done with this. But there's a big, huge spot that I missed right there. But I'm not going to worry about anything on the sails right now. Okay, so clearly there's another whole section. Hmm. I'm confused now. Makes sense for this to be the one that goes right here. I'm kind of trying to reverse engineer this thing. And I think I'm getting progress. Yeah. The mast is taking shape. Oh, that, I almost had a major clumsy that would have been very disastrous. So is that how it's supposed to go then? Doesn't look like it would be very stable. But maybe. That's all looking like the picture. Yay, okay. Wow, and I missed a lot of spots on this sail. I had a feeling that was going to happen. But hey, the ship's coming together now. I mean, it's starting to be obvious what goes where. But you know what I'm missing? You know why it's going to be so unstable? We need to put these onto the sides so that once I put the mast up, we can anchor it into place. So we need to put these up here on the sides, and then once we put in the mast, we can anchor these. And these will help. And these side rails for the mast will help hold the whole mast in place. So now we just gotta come up here, gently pull these up, and connect them to the tower. And I know the top of the mast is off screen. At the end, I'll get the other camera up, and I can show off the ship a little bit better. And with the side rails, the mast is holding, and I can actually poof the sails into position a little bit. Yeah, the ship's really starting to come together now. You know what? I think that is an angel wing. But and with the mast up, I've just blocked my view of the instructions. And I never know which way to point the flags. I've seen it done both ways. Okay. The flag is on top. Now we just have the forward mast to worry about. Looks like I might be missing a chunk of this mast somehow. Yeah. I'm not sure how I'm missing a whole chunk of mast. So I know this bit. Okay. The anchor was a bit misadjusted, and I'm actually going to drop it inside the ship for now. Okay, this front mast is all sorts of coming apart. Okay. The good news about the front mast coming off is I can puzzle it out. I mean the front sail is I can puzzle it out without having to worry about the forward mast. So the front sail is on, and I can just figure out what's going on with this mast, which appears to be missing a whole chunk of itself. What if I do this? Does this solve the issue? If I go like this, and then I go like this, and then I poof out the sails and realign this sail. Okay, the sails are still a little dusty. Not much I can do about that, but hey, we're taking shape here. And then I just got to connect this line up here somehow. Oh yeah, that's a recipe for disaster, how loose that piece is. Hey, I think we solved it, guys. Alright, let me switch back to the other camera. Where'd I put it? Now, I'm going to take this camera for a little flyover of the ship. I'll try and do this as best as I can. I know I'm not perfectly straight, but look. Look at what we've done here. We've got a clean and restored Lego Black Pearl. Technically missing a couple pieces, but who cares? We got the back mast. I mean the back sail. The sails are the fabric parts on the masts. The masts are the big, tall things that hold the sails. At least that's my understanding of how ships work. Oh, we got the big flag on top. We've got the front of the ship. And now I'm going to back up a bit and see if I can get the whole thing on camera. And my chair is stuck. There we go. Let me back up a bit. Yeah. There it is. Wow. I know you can see my computer in the background. But look, we restored it. We got it put back together. That's nice. And now switching back to the other camera so that I can show off the minifigures one more time. Macus the Hammerhead. I know he's a little washed out. Joshua Gibbs. Davy Jones. Oh, I messed up. The one I introduced as Joshua Gibbs is actually Will Turner. This one is Joshua Gibbs. Bootstrap Bill. And of course, Captain Jack Sparrow. Everybody's favorite drunken pirate. Anyway, now that that's done, let me get this off my desk so I can put the keyboard up. I knew that things were going to be loose. I'm going to move this very carefully off my desk so that I can find someone to raid. This ended up taking, wow, this might have a record for being my longest stream yet. There we go. Now I can get my keyboard back and we can pick a raid. Oh boy. Well, it's late. It's 12:30. Well, this was a long stream tonight, but I'm glad we got this fixed. All right, let's go to Twitch. Who's on? How long has she been going? Four hours. Yeah, there's only one musician on my follow list online right now. I'm just going to go see, because I don't want to raid and then immediately, I don't want to raid into the end of a show, because that's not really fun. I can't tell you, there have been several times I've raided and they were ending their show, so I can't tell if they're ending show or not. So what's going on this stream? It might not be a musician tonight. I only see one musician I follow online right now, which is weird because I follow a lot of musicians. Here, I'm going to go turn the camera off because I took the ships off. Or you know what? Here, I'll give you something to look at. You can look at the Lego guys. Here. Let's not give you a distracting Pokemon background to go against. I had to get the pirate ship off of my screen because it was taking up too much space on the camera. But you can look at the Lego minifigures. You can look at the little Lego pirates. while I figure out our raid situation. Yeah, I want to have them. I want to have them on camera. I don't want to have them slightly off camera. Trying to make it so that all of them are visible. And that nobody's really blocking out anyone else. That's the goal, at least. There you go. There's a group of pirates for you to look at while I figure out our raid. Ah, he's doing marbles. That's not a bad raid. He's doing opening Pokemon cards. That's not a bad raid either. I would have liked to do music. You know what? Even though I'm new to her show and I'm not familiar with it, let's go ahead and raid Emily McVicker, the only musician who on my follow list is on right now. I try and raid musicians when I can, so let's do this. Emily McVicker is pretty good. I haven't really watched her show, but I've seen her in a collaboration with another musician I follow, where she was a guest on their stream. She's very talented. You'll like her. So thank you for watching me restore my Black Pearl tonight. It was fun, tougher than I expected, but fun. All right. Have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you soon for another stream. I hope I can continue thinking of fun, unique things to do like this in addition to my regular shows. But have a good night.
So much for coming by and bringing your friends. Awesome. You know, let me close this long list because we're gonna be back tomorrow. Oh snap, Uncle Evie, welcome in, Uncle Evie. Thank you, John Boy. I'm hoping to record that one soon. I was gonna do it live last month as a sub goal,